And we're back with the market. And we're analyzing every nanosecond the data comes in. But I love this guy, the guy that's Calvin Klein, who's trading. And just still waiting to see him publish his, I guess he only trades real money, so why doesn't he post his real account? This is what I don't understand. Maybe because he's not yelling at people, so he doesn't have to. Only people that insult people are going to do that, okay? And so, it doesn't matter. See, now he's going to say, see, I'm right about the pound. Okay, but why didn't he say, well, I have a sell limit up here because I understand auction theory, so I'll put a sell limit up here in this little vacuum here. So I'll buy this when it goes down again because it's okay with me to intraday trade. It's fine, right? Why wouldn't I take advantage of every zigzag? So I'll buy here again. I'm buying in my, I guess it calls it martingale. I just call it buying low. And since I don't know how low it's going to go, I really don't know how low it's going to look at the stock market's kind of faltering here. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see here. When U.S. opens, what's going to happen? But yeah, I can't, I don't know. Like I said, it's what people are looking for, they'll find eventually when they figure out what kind of time frame they want to trade in. You don't have to make a market call. You don't need to know where the market's going to make money. That has not occurred to Calvin yet. And apparently, what I'm saying, I shouldn't be saying what I'm saying. I should be politely complimenting everybody and telling them how nice their clothes is, right? The Emperor. Nice outfit today, Mr. Emperor, and that's really wonderful. So I should go to every marketer. Oh, yeah, And then if I did that, people say, oh, well, he's just a shill. He's trying to get business. He's getting a kickback from the thing. So I'm not endorsing anybody's trading site. I had some guy when I first started doing this, and he said, oh, come. I said, I don't know. Forex Club. The guy just kept hammering me. I said, I don't know. I mean, you're just regurgitating. All you're doing is taking news and just regurgitating it, right? But you got to get traffic to your site, right? There's a whole side industry of trading, other than placing orders. This is the only way I've found to make money is to place the orders, so that's what we're doing. So I could be wrong. This could keep tanking. So what I do is I create tighter stops. Okay. If you're trading with stops, which apparently this guy's not because he's making market calls that are so golden. So if I keep on putting this so-called martingale down here, and they stop me out of whatever I'm in, and that's the idea. Now, I have stops that are kind of based on my personality, which is stubborn. So I'll put a 20-pip stop on all this stuff. I could put tighter stops. Here's a 15-pip stop. I just load that stuff up there. And you could hard code it into the double clicks. The double clicks are down here. And I did hard code some of these. And if I want to be lazy like this guy, he's done for the day, right? I would just hit this one. This is going to be 2 hours, I think. And this one I know is 8 hours. This terrible color scheme. Let me get rid of the. Let me just go to the entries being deep blue. Deep blue entries. So your entries are volume. Tomato is, I don't know, I must have been drinking last night. We'll just go blue. For real men. Real men trade blue entries. So here I'd leave a gap to get stopped out in case I'm wrong. I'm underwater on all of these tickets, mind you. So I just laid that in like a slob. We could either go back up. It looks like we're going to keep tanking. So if I wanted to short here, I could short into that, but I'm just going to let it go. Here I'm going to buy this when it comes back. We have black entries here. And I'll buy this on the retest because it looks like the pound's going up. So I don't know where this guy stops at, but he's probably going to be a little hurt. Here I'm just going to buy if it goes down more. I'm short from the top of that. And I guess the dollar yen, we're waiting for this to crush down. One more move into the void. So I'll be buying all the way down into this. Now, I don't mind getting stopped out. It's okay. I can handle it. Okay, let's pause and come back. Read some more hysterical comments from a hysterical. And I really don't. What is the motivation of this guy, right? He's upset that I'm criticizing people. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I only trade demo. So I only trade demo, right? I'm working for the demo company. That's how I afford to sit here and blather on. But that's going to happen. I'm verbose. I'm loquacious. It's going to happen. I've been like that ever since the age of 5. I couldn't. My parents said, well, he doesn't talk, and now he wants to shut the fuck up. So, yeah, I've been through it, man. Martial arts, all sorts of stuff. I'm an expert guitarist. Been trading guitar for years. Sorry, I'm talented. What am I going to do, right? I'm stuck being me. There's a song that goes like that. Still waiting for real or fake accounts to come from Calvin. So let's see it, buddy. Bring it. Yeah, my point is that I'm trying to make money. I don't care if it's a swing trade, a scalp. I really don't have the patience to ride these so-called trends. Now, if you would have sold the top of that dollar yen, right, of course, you're up. This is 10 pip grid. But I'm just looking to trade the bounce, If I can make money off the bounce, well, so be it. This guy says Mark Douglas wasn't a trader. He very much was a trader. He traded his own money, and then he wrote a book. Then he went back to trading. He's dead now. So, it's just ridiculous. But, hey, listen, you throw stuff out there. This is this Calvin Klein is a guy that just doesn't look at stuff. He doesn't dig in. So if you're going to hurl stuff out there, at least be accurate, right? He's getting killed on his British pound trade right now, right? British pound is going to engulf the day. British pound is in an uptrend, right? He shorted this thing at support, right? I don't know what I'm talking about. He shorted this thing at support. He's selling the pound now. I don't even know what his criteria is, but don't worry, he's analyzed it. Would you want Kelvin to manage your account? Who's a better trader? Now he says I'm a bad trader because I can't make the market calls. Mark Douglas says you don't have to know where the market's going to make money. And Alexander Elder, I've studied them all. Kelvin, you don't understand. I spent years on this shit, learning it, and then I had to de-learn stuff too. De-learn it and say, you know what? I think it matters. After I blew up several accounts, I said, I might have something to do with the size I'm trading. Making the right market call and being in the right size is the holy grail. Risk management's the holy grail. But that's boring stuff, man. Your ego wants to make a market call. No, I do think that we could get some more movement down on the euro, and I'd buy into that. I should take off my sells, though. Let me look on side the thing here, see my winning trades right now. If I do it by profitability, I'm going to take these two off. These are 1Ks. I'm up 37 pips. I'm taking these guys off. I'm going to let the other ones run. Now, this is tough to do because I'm juggling all these currencies. But that British pound trade, nice call. Nice call, buddy. This is the place to buy, right? It's going in golf. He's already shown us how good a trader is by selling the pound on the Frankfurt Open. He should have sold on the Kielbasa Open. Or the Kosher Hot Dog Open. Oh well. Better luck next time. Okay, it's 6:30 in the morning. The bewitching hour of the markets. Looking for a retracement on the yen. So I loaded up here. I'm underwater. I'm underwater by 15 pips right now, 12 pips. I can cash out of everything here and let the losers. I have a couple early entries here just above. These are 1Ks. So we can let this go. It is in an uptrend. Right? It look like an uptrend to you? If you're just, trying to scalp it, it wouldn't matter, right? Because you're just going to take chunks out of the market here. So here's the 1 hour view. The obvious exit is right here on the floor. So let's see what happens. We'll let that play out. This is the 4 hour view. I'm back on the chart here of the the dollar versus the yen. So you could have done classical trend line break analysis here. This should be pretty easy to see. This is a resistance. This is forming a wedge here in time. I know the wicks tell a different story. That's why if you're a trend trader, you're taking pictures, price over time, snap, 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 snap. So you're snapping pictures. Don't forget you're snapping pictures, right? And that's how you're seeing it unfold over time. So you could have scalped it here and done quite well for yourself. You can see here's your first limit order is going to come in here, constantly feeding off that supply zone, right? Whatever you want to call it, right? It's about the repetitiveness of replacing these orders over again and again, because once they fill it and your target's realized, right? Every time we fill here, we realize that for this fill, there was an exit up here. This buy got out here. You're constantly making 10 pips over and over again, right? You're going to get sick of winning, just like Trump. You're going to be sick of winning. So just reading more of Gibson's writing. He's talking about you'd be shocked if you start winning. Yeah, because if you think you're a loser, or you say, hey, if it's that easy, everybody do it. But it is that easy, nobody's doing it. The reason why people don't talk about that is because they're saying, well, you know what, I don't want to be I don't want to be bragging. So this guy that's attacking me, he's like, you're bragging this, bragging that. I just had this girl that I've known for a long time, and so we finally had to break up, right? Not that they were banging, but it's a female friend. So this is like having a pet cat in a way. You'd be very careful. So she's an attention whore. So she just emailed me this crushing letter telling me that I killed her brother. How I wasn't there for her brother. Now, brother is a sociopath, right? So come on. He wasn't contacting me. So this kind of you're a dick, you're a mean guy. It's kind of funny because to be a trader, it's time to let your mean side come out, people. Be aggressive. Oh, aggressive entry. Oh my God, he's placing. Oh, good luck, buddy. You're placing orders down there? It's going up. I used to get in this fight in chat rooms. I tell people I'm buying, and they go, you're buying, it's going down. I go, yeah, it's going down, but it's going to keep going down. Any trend trader's fear is the trend over? Any range trader's fear is there a trend that I just got trapped into? Like, I just can't play this range game too much longer. Once the big boys figure out what I'm doing, right? They see me in the restaurant. I'm sitting there having lunch with Robinacci. You know the story. So here's fair value. Most people are getting the fuck out here. So I'm going to get the fuck out here. Taking all profits off the table right now. So a lot of this stuff that I got into was done overnight. Overnight entry. So I'm taking all these profits right now. Everything in blue is those are limits that filled while I wasn't here. Now the top of the hour is coming. We go zooming up. I can leave the losers behind. Now this is money management. Okay, this might be a shock to Calvin Klein, but it's not about being right. It's about managing your money. It's about risk control. If you don't think the sellers are coming in here right now, then you've got your eyes set at some amazing swing trade target that you'll never realize. A lot of what I'm doing here in these demos, I could make so much money in this demo if that's all I did all day. But what I'm showing you is that if you have pending orders down here, and I'm surprised this Kelvin's not picking up on the laziness of the system, how you just don't give a fuck. You're making money by not giving a fuck. Well, that wouldn't work in any other business in the world, tell me. I can tell you right now, if you're not sucking your client's dick in the sales world, you're not making a living. But in this market, you have to be very fucking like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Be a real man. Don't give a shit. Stop it with the belongingness that Mark Douglas, Dave Gibson speaking about this. Oh my God, well, you know, I think it's because you live in a world like this chick that I had to break up with on Facebook. Oh my God, I block her, right? She goes, block me. I'm like, I already did. I want to say I already did in the chat window, but I can't give her any attention, right? So I can't give her any attention. I don't want to, because she's irrational. You'll never win that argument. You'll never win it. But I like to engage people on the comments list because I'm like, oh my God, really? Really? I'm just selling here. Saying that you're selling or buying without size is ridiculous. It's like saying I'm going to the store. Oh, on a scooter or in a Tiger tank? Are you in a Sherman tank going to the store? Because that's a lot different ride. It's a different kind of grocery getter, right? So size matters. Why can't people see this? You know why? It reminds me of like this Gibson's talking about. It's like a kid goes into a candy store. All the candy looks good. It's amusement, right? Amusement park means think is to muse. Amuse is to not think. When you go to the amusement park, you're not thinking. We live in an amusement park world. So maybe I can, as I think about it, what Dave Gibson's realized, we have all realized, these old people, us old people, 59 years old, seen a lot. We just feel like, you know, there are kids out there that have their shit together, but there's always few and far between. That's why 90% of traders lose, right? Retail traders, right? They don't understand size. They don't understand that there's buyers and sellers in the game. Just because you're a buyer, you think like a buyer, and you can not see any reference to, if it goes against what you're thinking, you're going to reject that. So you could fade somebody like, you know, they call it fading somebody, or you could see what somebody's thinking. You know, hey, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, look at 4 hours down, it's in a downtrend. Okay, but for how long? And when it quiets down, how subtle is it going to get? Is it going to get into a vibe where it's just going up and down 5 pips? Now you've got to have a tight, if you've got a spread that's a half a pip or lower on the euro and you're not making money trading, then you're just not babysitting the 15-minute chart. There's so much money to be made in noise alone. Noise alone is a gold mine. Paying attention to how much margin you're using. There are so many fucking trades on these 3 currency pairs this week. If you don't catch them, then you're looking at too many indicators and you're not looking out the windshield of your fucking car. You're staring at the dashboard. I have this Forex dashboard. I mean, this is like 6 years ago. I go, that is so sweet. That's like fucking having goddamn plasma meters on an old school mixing board. You're like, look at the fucking thing on that. It's showing me like half a dB increments right near the top. We are so not clipping this thing. We're right in a, you don't even have to remaster it. You're sitting in a 10 pip window, 10 dB window. From zero, imagine zero on a meter blowing up your account, like peg the meter. Think about that, and you're looking at your margin, looking at your stats real time on another monitor. What amazes me is you see a guy with 20 fucking monitors, all charts. Dude, where's the tickets? You should have vertical screens, 4K, showing you every fucking pending. If you're running a business in real time, I knew a guy this is back when there was 286 computers. He ended up working for Coca-Cola, monitoring real-time the production line. Real-time. Yeah, let's see how it's going. You know exactly where you're at the end of the day. You know, the Forex, you know, at the end of the day, look at your balance, right? Where are you at? Are you trading in such a high res of size? See, the thing is like, it's just, come on. You need to treat it as if you're trading, other people's money. Like, see, another thing is I don't trade. Somebody asked me, hey, years ago, well, you seem to know what you're doing. You trade my money. Oh, no, absolutely not. Can you imagine the wrath It's like this fucking psycho bitch. A psycho babe on the fucking one. She's not a babe anymore. She's a psycho bitch. I just down-notched her. So, but I won't answer her. And she'll just twist in the wind. It's beautiful, right? So everybody needs their own kind of punishment. But yeah, if you want to tangle with me, sure, I'll go around. Bring it. But it's vapor. People bring vapor trails to me, like chemtrails. Here you go. Here's your chemtrail. Dude, seriously? Where's your fucking video? You cannot find yourself to take the time. You know, you type up a good storm, but there's no numbers, there's no timestamps, there's no demo. I don't even see your demo, bitch. I'm publishing my demo raw dog real time on this thing. I've been to 125 grand. I'm at 28 grand. And I'm still trading. I'm in this real trade. I'm in this trade. Promise me I'm in this trade with real money. I'm not going to show you my fucking... I already apparently gave out too much information, and people that I've met that took into my... just to talk to him as a friend on Skype are coming back to rail against me with basically just fucking crotch dust. I don't even see any... Like, where's your fucking... Where is it? Where are the Bruce Lees attacking me? They're not, because they fucking understand trading's fucking... You need fucking giant testicles to trade, and for girls, you need giant fucking ovaries, apparently, whatever the fuck the equivalent. Big breasts, right? You can feed 1 million children. Every guy wants you. So, I always wondered, these guys attacked I'm not a boob guy, so I see these, my friend, you know, giant breasts. I'm like, dude, this is like morbidly obese breasts. Like, what are you going to do with that shit? This is like saying big piles of money. Dude, are you any happier waking up this morning without ass cancer than you were with ass cancer? This is the Dave's, I'm reading too much into Gibson's. You live in a world where people are so spoiled in this amusement factory of, I'm going to go to this movie and that movie. You know, it's just mental masturbation. Who's actually doing any fucking work around here? The poor slob that grinds it out every day going, I'll make 10 pips. Yeah, no shame in my game. 10 pips is enough for a guy. Hey, you're in $1 million position, okay? You did okay, right? You made grand. You make $900 in the morning, go back to sleep on a scalp. Or do you torture yourself with some fucking swing trade you don't have the patience for, or a trend trade you don't have the patience for? So I'm thinking out loud. All my videos are a selfish act. Of course, everybody should be selfish. I mean, virtuous selfishness, Ayn Rand, anybody. But in a nanny state world, you're not going to hear the cry for individualism, because then you're going to hear the other side, the echo chamber. People want to live in an echo chamber. I got it, you know. I mean, listen to your favorite music. But did you ever stumble across, I was in a car with AM radio and I only had AM on this thing I put it in, right? Holy fuck, I'm listening to this shit from a musician's standpoint, you know. With everything I know about music, I'm like, you know, these are really good songs. I mean, record like shit, right? But maybe that's actually, that's a special effect these days, right? Vintage is a special effect. People have lived so long, they're so wealthy, that... Yeah, trading to really be professional about it, or to do stuff that makes money, is completely different than to put up a harmonic scanner and go, look at this thing. See, I'm getting out right here. Right? Can you see the sellers coming in? I'm just going to scale out of this. I think I can go back to my, second, am I plugged in? Okay. So I'm going to reduce my exposure. I'm going to reload buy limits. So I'm just going to trade with the market. I'm just going to, since it's this time of day, as we come into the top of the hour, I could rip back. Or I could rip up. But see this, I see how slow we're getting out of these tickets. Another thing to consider is when you trade super high increments like this, you are going to have to wait 10 seconds to get out of a scalp, like I just did there. So I reduced my margin. To me, this is money in the bank, as Mark Douglas. Now I'm going to buy right here at the 10-yard line, coming underneath all over again. So this may be going up, but why can't I make money from the noise? Why is it so abhorrent to make money from noise? Because you just don't do that, right? You weren't raised like that. What are you, some guy in the alley picking up change? How dare you? How dare you make money in increments? Aren't you a big risk-taking egomaniac with a Gartley? Who the fuck are... You know, the more I look at it, I used to say Akil Stokes was like this nice guy. I don't want to babysit my kids. You probably have them watching CNN or some fucking shit. Well, that's what they're saying. Oh, that's what they're saying. Oh God, it gives me anxiety attack to be. That's why I had to get rid of this psycho babe. I mean, she's nothing. She's. Oh, and I'm a fair weather friend, right? I'm like, God, I'm a fair weather enemy too. So, if the weather's, if I lick my finger, stick it in the wind, anybody want to play? I like to play, man. I like to engage. Sorry for butt hurting the ICT guy. I just wonder, what are these people's aims? They haven't found a way to make money trading, so they find a way to sell trading books, right? Okay. But us real traders, it's like the guy that's playing jazz and he's busting his ass, and here comes U2 with one fucking note. Some guy, Edge, selling 1 million albums, Joshua Tree. Back in the day, I was playing Pat Metheny. I thought, fuck these assholes. Well, the girls like them. Oh, fuck the girls. Well, I'd turn gay it would turn you gay to listen to the fucking U2. Now I listen to it for production quality. I think it's fucking unbelievable. Yeah, Streets Have No Name. I could listen to it on a fucking loop, right? But I'm listening to the fucking recording technique too. I mean, it's a fucking wall. It's the most gorgeous verb. It sounds live, right? I had the gold-plated mobile fidelity version of that. You put it on, you're like, yeah, just put it on loop, man. Give me another beer. Talk about chronic masturbation. So that would be looping your favorite song. But this just goes out all day, right? Go to the movies. You pay $9 to fucking. Oh, geez, people, I'll step away from them. When I hear Blockbuster, I hear the movie stats at the end of the month. I'm thinking, Jesus, people, really? You're going to see Batman Returns. How many times did he return? I mean, oh my God, pull yourself away from the boob tube. Look outside, man. This guy's saying, hey, post your real account. So, hey, post your real life, right? What the fuck? What the fuck's the matter with you? See, now I'm losing money on the dumb. I'm making money, my real money. I'm still in this fucking trade. It's probably too much. He's saying, this guy's saying, don't forget there's other intelligent people out here. Okay, well, come on. Where's your fucking channel, bitch? I love the trolls. You can't beat it, right? It's like it reminds me of going to a martial arts class and just, the guy's like comes in there. I love the guy with the black belt that thinks he's really cool. So there was this guy with a brown belt, right? Because he lived in the hood and he didn't want to become a black belt because if he did, he would get sued if he killed somebody. So he was like an 8th degree black belt, but he had a brown belt on in the studio in case he was ever sued. They go, in other words, once you you become a liability. Can anybody see that? You start making money, do your thing. I mean, I work for George Soros on the side. I'm just telling you. George and I are tight. I manage he's a Forex trader. Watch George Soros. I mean, politically, right? Politically, he's a liberal. Doesn't mean that Robert De Niro is not a good actor. He's a flaming liberal, right? Listen to George Soros talk about trading. He just goes for it. Listen to all the famous traders. They're not looking for confirmation. They don't have fucking 80 fucking things on their screen. Hey, looks like there's something by here. But they're being themselves. I don't think they're asking for. I don't think that as soon as you succumb to getting confirmation from the crowd, then you might as well just be doing the thing the crowd does. Why don't you just turn your life over to the mob? Yeah, they must know better, right? Besides, how could it be anything wrong with that, right? For the greater good, right? Use the communist argument. So I see the postmodernism approach of Akil Stokes and the Empowered Trading Crew. If these people don't think that shit's leaked into their brain, this utopian view of reality, and why they're getting slammed in the markets, right? Utopian view is the death of your, you just, it's only encouraging your ego to think that, oh, that last decision I made is right. See, I made money. But without any reference to scale and size and reoccurrences, how many retests do you think a market can do? For a trend trader, that is the torture of life, the retest. You're like, I know this thing's, I like where this is going. I like this trade. But, hey, something just changed, right? Something's different. The market's slamming around. Oh, maybe news is coming out at 7. So it's just after the top of the hour here. Fucking clock's way off. So we're coming up into this critical window. 5 minutes after the top of the hour, I'm expecting a vicious pullback. So I dumped all my winners, and I'm kind of just, since I'm in a demo, I'm just kind of dancing with the market. So I'm dancing with the devil here. Now I'm going to put more. I'm going to put 10Ks in now. Break even's 2020. So kind of a high risk, 20 pip stop, but I'm also going to put that same iceberg order, the same scalp orientated trade strategy down here below. And so let's go back to the charts at hand here. We have the market's backing up. We see this fair value here, right? We want to buy this. As we come back into that, we have the pending sitting there. Also, this one's a good buy, right? From a structure standpoint. This guy thinks that I don't understand structure. Obviously, you could have peppered this with 100K, 10 drops. You're up 10. You're up 100. You're up 10 pips. Up $100, right? I mean a standard lot. You're up $100, right? You just made $100 this morning. You put in 80K. You maybe got filled on 80K. Maybe you only made $80. Not bad, right? Not bad for a day's work. So now I'm going to put more orders in here. But I'm going to come in below. I'm expecting an overshoot of the runway. I'm already in. I'm underwater, $77, but on the top bank I'm in. So if I'm swing trading, I'm scalping around my position. Now I'm going to buy at the market. Now I'm going to buy on stops a little bit, and I'm still in enough that even though I scalped this portion, I'm still underwater on these tickets. If we complete the move up into the completion of this 4-hour swing and the floor, the exit is going to be up here in the let's see, get to delete these objects. We gotta get back to this. Oh, I'm still in the drawing mode here. So let's go back to, and this is zero. It's supposed to go down, but it's going up. So that's a problem, right? According to Calvin Klein, there, he didn't notice the uptrend in the euro dollar. 4 hours of pullback. Buyers, trend traders bought that, right? Obviously, that should be painfully obvious, right? This is the stock market. Still going up. Still going up. So I could be wrong on that. I'm publishing this, and here is the British pound. Supposed to be going down. Uh-oh. It's not. Oof. So the euro's leading the pack. It had a pullback. I'm still trading bounces on this, though. I don't think this is done bouncing around, and it could tank. But the question is, how much more can it tank? How much more tank can we get out of this thing? Okay, it's going to be like that, all right. But these are high probability bounce-a-roonies, and we're still trapped below the floor of the breakout traders' big, the bear's big win is to get below this, right? But see how we're trapped below? That's auction trade. We filled this vacuum. If your banks were in here at 20 pips, you could have really milked that for a scalp bounce. And you didn't have to be there for that trade. And the big internal support was this time high, right? So anything in this window, this is the wick high. So if you bought starting here, tops become bottoms. As soon as you plunge into this zone, your tickets here, your last ticket to buy should be, and to me this is conservative trading, your last ticket to buy should be, say, down here. You're willing to buy that whole vault, right? So there's nothing aggressive about placing martingale orders. Like it's how big you do something. Is running with scissors a good idea? Yes, if somebody that is tied to the, if you come in the room and your friend's hanging from a noose, right? He's trying to kill himself. Is it okay to run with scissors? Yes. Should you train for that? Maybe. How often does that situation come up? Are you prepared for lightning striking? And supposedly it doesn't strike twice in the same spot, but it does in the market beautifully, and sometimes it doesn't either. There's been a lot of smashbacks and kickouts in this market. But I think it depends how big you're in. So I'm underwater on like, let's say, 1.5 standard lots here. So what do? If I go like this and say I'm going to buy for the next 8 hours here, and I'm really going to, since I'm not going to be here, if we get an equal measured price pulse all the way down to where the stops are. So where are your stops? I'm going to buy them. They're all down here. Like the people are like, oh no, I'm on the daily, man. You don't understand. You don't understand. That's another thing, people. You don't understand, but they never explain to me. Explain to me. You don't understand, man. What's really buzz? Okay, well, tell me what it's about. No, just hurl shit at me, right? Love it. But you have to put up with that in life, you know. This Spazzarella that's hammering me on YouTube, on the fucking, I feel like it. It's like all of a sudden everybody's after me. And since I'm unresponsive to her, that's part of her relationship, right? If she helps me out with something, now I'm beholden to her. So I never wanted to get that relationship going either. That's why I wouldn't charge somebody, because they, oh, dude, I'm paying for a course. I'm like, oh God, I don't, you know, I can't. I'm easily overwhelmed with really just drama. But I understand that's a leverage point for somebody who has no argument is emotion, right? This is and I understand that people are attracted to glitz and glamour and the glamour profession of looking good and having pretty charts and speaking politely and clearly. That's why when people are saying to me, dude, you're just a mumbling stutterfuck, I'm like, thank you very much. That's my intention. I'm not trying to be fucking polished marketer. It's a selfish act. If you want to listen to me, bitch, I would be talking like if I didn't have YouTube, you can only imagine that somebody as out of their fucking mind as me would just talk to themselves in the room anyways. You know, I've been a reject since day one. I've had to self-entertain. You think I'm going to waste my time arguing with people about how, like, oh, you have a problem, I can fix it. I don't want your help. I just want to moan. I got it. You're a moaner. I'll move on. And like, oh, guys saying to me, oh, you got all day to yeah, I'm just sitting here fucking babysitting fucking trades. Why wouldn't I just make a video? I've got half a brain. I figured out how to run a recorder. I'm not stupid like everybody says. Jesus, I was like, hog heaven when I saw YouTube was free to post. But I knew I wasn't going to torture people with a fucking ad or some fucking bumper music. I tried the bumper thing. A lot of that shit's me playing. If you don't recognize it, it's me. I did all the tracks, okay? But I'm not going to sit there and fucking torture people with these fucking... And another thing, I had to remix every intro so the volume matched. I'm not going to fucking torture people with some fucking half-ass. Bad enough I had it published on my fucking tablet, but I was so fucking angry. My anger overcame the delivery system, right? So I just took like a out-of-tune guitar and just plugged it in and shredded on it, so I wouldn't kick my dog. So if you don't have any anger, then you don't have any testosterone. If you're not alive, it's how what you do with that anger. I can anger trade. I could actually. People say, "Don't get back in. You lost a lot of money, man. You got to reset." No, I just jump back and anger trade it back. Who doesn't? If you know that you have that skill and talent, right, to bail something out, to make a sad thing a funny thing. Of course, it's a little tough. I've said some very inappropriate things, but it's gallows humor, dude. I'm not trying to be I'm trying to face the reality of life. So you're not afraid of life. And when fear goes away, see, fear is clouding your view of the market because you think it's about, oh, it's going here, it's going there. How's the British pound's going up now? So Calvin Klein told me to sell the pound. Can't you see it's going down? He sold the euro and the pound this morning. He's telling me, are you kidding? The dollar yen's going to 110. 110. I'm on a daily chart. It's going down here. It's going to, he's kidding, right? It's going to 110. I don't know if you can put that in perspective. We're on the daily, it's going to 110. When? Dude, I will have already intraday traded or even swing traded. People have day jobs. I guess what I should do is have like the day job trading course for free. What it is, how to trade a 4-hour chart, right? How to just place orders like fucking just here. You could have been long. You could put a scalp bank right at the high here. You're already up on this trade. Sure, you can amuse yourself with the 1-hour chart, but you're gonna be pissed off that we didn't trade the breakout on the 1-hour chart. High probability trade, right? Look at this. This is just goober trading 101. It's mechanical trading, man. Mark Douglas talks about this. There's discretionary, kind of like making a market call trading, and then there's mechanical trading. Mechanical trading system looks like this. It's just easy as pie. Buy, stop, cancel, replace, right? Buy, stop. Oh, I got filled them up. Buy, stop. Oh, I got filled them up. Sell, stop. Oh, I got filled them up. Sell, stop. Oh, I got filled them up. Sell, stop. Right? Sell, 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 sell. Mechanical trading. Only one problem with that. You'd say, oh, dude, just build a robot for that. Right? First thought is, man, I think he's right about this one. He's a dumb fuck. He's simple. But I'll tell you what, I think he's onto something here. What if we look at that again? You mean to tell me that if I place, and I always say put a limit to go the other way in the wick, you got to have both trade plans. Sorry. I know a guy that was selling into the Euro rally. And if you're still selling to the Euro rally, you just missed your scalp, right? You made your 40 pips this morning on that scalp off the tops coming out of Asia, but that game's over, right? You can see it on the big frame. You're like, hey, guess what? That was a counter trend trade. You should enjoy your winnings. Shut the fuck up. Move to the next trade. Right? Don't be bragging because you counter trend traded. Like the last video that was done by ICT, he's counter scalped on the 15-minute. In hindsight, talking over the video. This is happening real time, dude. This is fucking happening. Look at the clock. So, how do you play these fucking markets, man? If I put a sell stop here, and like I said, this looks like a genius thing to do. Buy stop, sell stop. The robot gets filled. He adds more. He adds more. He doesn't give a fuck. Every hour he's adding more. He's adding more. He's pyramiding in. It's a perfect thing. His stops are trailing. He'll stop and reverse. He never gets a stop and reverse. Remember SAR? When I saw stop and reverse, the first thing I thought is, it looks a little laggy. Why don't people trade like what I'm saying right here? Zero lag, bar by bar. Well, and not to mention, you might have buy limits on every 10 pips. As you come down on your sell stops, right? So you're adding your protections here, dude. It's a perfect mechanical downtrend trade. Literally the perfect trend market right there. That trend's over. Now we go to chops fill. Now here comes the range traders. Buy limits, sell limits, buy limits, sell limits. As this starts to churn down, you should be aware this vacuum is trying to fill. What if this consolidates? We come down here, we go like this, and then it just fizzles out and goes lower. If this is not a lot of money to you, you're going to buy here for the obvious retracement to come, because by here it should be oversold. I mean, this is just plain and simple stupidity. Your ego's not, at this point, your ego's saying, this guy, Calvin, has such an ego. It's incredible. But like they say, be humble. No, I mean, once you realize that all that money that you were chasing by trying to make a market call is now coming to you through a random, impossible martingales, adding to a loser, right? It's called scaling into a trade. So I'm assuming that Calvin trades one tickets with a stop. One big ticket. The righter he is, the bigger he trades on that ticket. Right? It only makes sense, right? Okay, so now I'm going to put buy stops in. This is conservative. I'm going to put in my buy stop scalps. Got to get out of drawing mode to do that. Okay, so here we go. Buy stops. And buy limits are already placed, right? So I'll trend trade it. From the 15-minute perspective, we have a pullback Your 15-minute robot should be buying right now on pullbacks. If you want to trade a lot and be a high-frequency trader, it means you're trading a lot. High-frequency trading isn't fucking trying to get your fucking ticket to the floor first. Listen to the word high-frequency. In other words, what's happened, another thing has happened, Gibson would probably understand, is that you've got misuses of language. There's the words that we used to actually decipher and use as an explanation for something have become memes, so the encapsulated symbols now. Plus you have KFC, right? Don't forget, Kentucky Fried Chicken is too much to say and think about. So the quickening, right? If anybody listens to Art Bell, he used to talk about the quickening. Well, yeah, it's the exponential acceleration of things. So get ready for some serious volatility, I would say, in all instruments. The stock market could melt up again. I'm sure I'm not the only one thinking, you know what, this could be the top for a while. Is it okay to be wrong? I would even help somebody like Kelvin, who I apparently tried to help on Skype, but he just says I'm still up to the same old shit. So I don't even know if he's kept up. I know that I'm trying to remember who that would be that I talked to, because people type differently than they speak, maybe. But he's been hurt. He's been hurt. I mean, he's saying that the markets aren't like they were 2 years ago. He's a trend trader, right? He's a market caller. But he can't call the market. He needs something to make. What I'm trying to offer is a mechanical trading system, and I can talk about market structure. But the scripts are really about mechanical trading, right? Let's face it. If I look at this on this pullback in the 15 and I say, you know what? I think that needs a fucking buy stop. I'll buy at the market. And I missed my entry on limits. I should have had a limit order right here. And it may not have filled because depending on the spread, you can't see if it was filled. Right here. Or even right here. We knew that we're filling this hole now. This is the mini hole. And you can make plenty of money filling these kind of holes. Look at this vacuum here. And look at the ATRs are insane at this point, right? Look at this. But look at the vacuum. Pay attention to the vacuum. Maybe there's a way to plot. If you inverted the colors, actually. Take your bar chart and make that a different color. And start to look at the space around the price, not the price. So right now, trailing sell stops, the robots, money management bots are sitting here. What if they get filled? You could expect this to crush back into these limits, right? So here is the big challenge. Can we take that out? And the sellers are going to come in there, so you could trap trade that coming back off that. But who's going to really want to manually do that? So if you signed a sell 10 pips north trade key, that's what you have to call it. I sell 10 pips north. Here you go. You do a Gartley here, and then you drag your price into the Gartley. The anti-scanner. Clear all. Yeah, so it's Wednesday. It's Wild Wednesday. And you typically get insane moves on Wednesday. But I'm still long this now, right? But I'm underwater now. So I'm underwater by 10 pips here. So this drawdown, I can take this account to 30 grand if I have the patience, or I'm just going to let it unfold, right? Now you maybe would have said you would have stuck to your guns and held the whole position, but this is where you have to realize if you got in too big because you did place these martingales. I'm just going to call them martingales, dude. I'm going to call this martingale trading for the new age. And why are the millennials? I don't get this. I guess you can't globalize because I know young people that have their shit together. I met them on Skype. I know a guy that's totally. He hasn't made any big mistakes in his life or whatever. He hasn't. There's a balance between utopianism. So you start off as a utopian, right? A liberal, and they say that's great until you lose money. Being nice to somebody or whatever, doing what you're supposed to do, and then you're like, I better readjust. There is maybe a better approach than... So if you're betrayed by an instruction manual, which I was when I was a child, I got the instruction book, and I looked at the manual, I go, the manual's wrong. One time I sat on I had a Roland synth, that the book was wrong. I called tech support and I said to them, I said, so this is a typo, this whole page? They go, yes, sir. I go, well, God, man, I've just been reading this thing over and over again for 3 hours, because I wasn't going to ask for help. I mean, I don't speak Japanese. So got that thing back running. I just had to figure, you know what? It's not doing that. That menu, every time I come to that menu, there is no choice like that. So maybe the book's out of date. So life is a hack. You have to hack your life. I don't think it would be any different in trading. But for some reason, it's come to the attention of the marketers and the dream makers to put this rosy picture of, well, what you got to do here is you got to get yourself a 200 MA. What's a 200 MA? Which is a 200 period moving average, which is going to give you an idea of the overall trend in the market. Okay. So I'm going to buy in the direction of the overall. Yeah, that's right. You're gonna buy in the direction of the overall trend. Right? That's what the big boys are doing. That's what we be doing. Okay. And then you put your tickets in. Turns out you buy. It turns out that the market is going up and down. And maybe in the end it is going up. And I can see that 200 MA is saying, oh, I can see the 200 MA. I know what I should be doing. I'm going to stop misbehaving and blowing up people's accounts, and I'm going to go back to my 200 MA. I'm so sorry for stepping out of line. Those nails that stick up get hammered down, right? So you don't want to be that guy. And this is coming back to Marxism, the reason why people can't think for themselves is because they don't want to be they don't want to be made ridiculed. But I'm up for the ridicule. Comments are open. Bring it. Post your stuff. Let's see you trade. If you can trade better than a simpleton, let's see that. Welcome all debaters and masturbators, because they're mass debating, right? It's a mass debate. That's what that's the Facebook thing, right? The Psycho Babe on Facebook. So I try to stay away from the Facebook because, oh my God, this is what you had for dinner? Why aren't people posting pictures of their toilet? Like, this is what it looks like after I ate it. Why aren't we seeing the closing of that trade, right? It got stopped out, right? Toilet's full of blood and vomit. You got stopped out of that trade. Okay. You blew up the account, right? You blew up your life. This idea of losing is so funny. You're a loser. You don't know how to trade, blah, blah, blah. It's not about trading. It's about execution. That's what the script's about, execution. So that's why I'm a big Mark Douglas fanatic, because what he's saying is that you can analyze that until your ovaries turn blue. And nothing in this world is going to make you money unless you have a fearless, carefree execution. That's what these scripts are about, carefree execution. To realize that you can be a casino and not know. If somebody comes in there, how many people can come in a casino and count cards? If he's a talented casinoist, then you're going to have to close his account. But you don't see that in trading. If somebody is talented, they come into, it's a fair game, right? You come into trading, you pull the trigger properly. You know which orders to place, when, how, when, where. You clean up, right? You make money. If trading's a business, which I've got the book downstairs, I'll bring it up and recite it to you, $150, Joe Ross. Trading is a business. The first time I saw that, I said, oh my God, you don't understand, man. I'm a guy, I see patterns. If I see a nice ass, I say, what is her phone number? On the plane, oh my God, the stewardess, do they really have to, can't they hire ugly stewardess? Do I really need that? She's giggling. Really? Can I get more ugly stewardess, please? Like, is it, who needs that in their life, right? That distraction. I'm trying to trade. How I lost $1 million. My girlfriend's nipple hit the trading tablet. I went to check the market. The true story of the demise of my trading accounts. She put on a fucking monster. She hit a script I was testing, and oh fuck. There goes my account. Nipple slip. Like, you heard of the fat finger. Remember the whale that went down in Britain, the whale? Fat finger. I remember when they used to talk about fat finger trades. That was before the conspiracy of the algorithmic traders. Can't people see they're being baited by fucking fantasy amusement news? And the only thing that matters at the end of the day is, well, I'm just speaking from a trading, this is supposed to be a trading channel. So the bottom line is, show me your real money, show me your real trades. Anybody can trade $1 million. And right, I just explained that. Who goes to trading school, and they've been in trading school for 10 years, and they walk out and they take their fists and they pound on their chest and they go, give me $1 million. I'm certified to trade by the I have 12-week transformation, dude. I used to be a total fucking loser cunt till I joined the 12-week transformation. Are you fucking kidding me? Laugh out loud. Just you signing up for that says, I'm a piece of shit loser. Show me how to trade. Show me the 2618 strategy. Uh-oh, I sized it wrong. No, speaking of size, you notice in power trading? You'll never hear the words volatility and size mentioned, or even scaling in and out. Oh, yeah, well, that's for advanced students. Dude, that should be where you started. We should all start at sizing. You don't marry, even if you're a bigamist, you don't pick all 12 underage girls all at once. You don't go to the skating rink and pick up your 12 underage girls all at once. You accumulate them. Even a fucking polygamist scales in. Where did this mentality of Fibonacci is going to give me extra confirmation, therefore, if-then statement, if I have more tools, I can trade bigger? Really? Okay. I'd love to watch that. Yeah, we're only up a few points this week, but we're only trying to make 5% because, we're kind of like, our self-esteem's a little low and we're just really not sure we want to be that aggressive. What we're going to do in this trading course is we're going to wait and see. Have you taken the wait and see module of my trading course? Yeah, the wait and see course costs $500 a month because this is a real capital preservation course I've created. It's called the wait and see method. Yeah, look at how much money you saved. Yeah, I know the course costs a ton of money, but dude, you would have done dumb trades, see? You can't think for yourself. We'll tell you we'll explain the news to you. We'll interpret it for you even. Oh, thanks. That's like when I go to watch reviews, I think, well, could you please interpret this for me? I have to atrophied my brain on apps so bad. And I'm tortured by the new algorithm on Facebook. Another reason why I had to quit Facebook is they kept fucking with the fucking... You get there and it's like, oh no, you can't see the most recent news. We'll tell you what to think. Facebook, unless you buy a shell, you need an app on top of the app, right? It's like Twitter. People have this, well, I'm using Twitbox. You need a fucking shell on top of your Twitter because Twitter's... unless you learn Twitter, which I'm barely learning... You're fucked, right? You're like, it's like showing your mom how email works. No, it's not really paper going through the copper wires, Mom. Wait. Oh, really? Why do they call it mail then? And then you get in an argument, you go down that rabbit hole, right? You're never going to get freed that. I hope this guy's still short the pound. Good call, buddy. So, it's engulfing. But we're just in this yen for the moment. Nice call there on that pound. Good work. So the directional traders, right? The newbie directionalists, utopianists, indoctrinated, you can't blame people for picking up. Like if you don't have a philosophy, then you're just Ayn Rand said, if you don't have an explicit, you're just picking up by default a hodgepodge of shit you've learned, and it's no reason you can't make it through life. Anytime anybody's lost in a trade, I'm sure they said, if I was on the other side of that trade, I would have made money. But why couldn't they take the other side? Because they're directional traders. Isn't it painfully obvious? But people say, no, you don't understand, man. You got to see my system. Okay, here it is. It's 7:30 in the morning. And we're up on this trade. I just added to the trade with some stops here for the scalp. So we've come back to fair value. Like I said, the 15-minute traders have been buying at the market for the last 2 bars. They stopped buying 15 fucking minutes ago. How is this not? I'm trading live, dude. I'm in this trade with real money. I'm swing trading it. I told you to buy. Who's not buying this? I said, are you buying the... Oh, no, it's going down. Then I said, buy the pound. Oh, no, it's going down. Really? I'm getting killed on this trade. The pound's going down. Okay, sure, buddy, right? So he sold here. This is what Kelvin's doing. He sold here and he walked away. Good call. Even if he sold here and made that, he walked away. If you put a stop here, this is where you're told to put your stop if you sell. If he mechanically traded this, he made money. He could have traded the British pound this morning mechanically. So what is mechanical trading? It's the stop entry confirmation. Confirmation guys should love this trade. Makes total sense. And the smaller the ATRs, the tighter your stops, and the wider you take profits in a spectrum. Sell, stop, fill. Buy, stop, stopped out, fill. Fill more here, right? You're stopped out of these. Bigger targets, you're going to realize to here, you're buying every 10 pips it drops. You're buying this. ATRs are too big on this bar to put buy stops. ATRs are small enough to put in a 20 pip buy stop. You're up on that trade. By default confirmation entry, you're up because you bought on limits. You could see the vacuum to fill. Nature abhors a vacuum, right? More than it respects your moving average, your Fibonacci bullshit. If you believe Fibonacci exists, don't forget that there's 400 Fibonacci's on the screen right now, right? On the 1 hour chart, there's 400 Fibonacci's on the 1 minutes. Bring in all your harmonic scanners into the 1 minute chart, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, every minute to 60 minutes. Bring in every harmonic scanner, every fib that you can fit. Those are all coexisting at the same time. Why did you single out that one fib? To fit your narrative, right? To fit your narration, what you believe the market's going to do. Can anybody see the danger in that? Nobody would do other stuff like that. Oh, there's only one way to build a car, right? I have to sell one car. The seats aren't even adjustable, dude. I set it to the ideal height of a human being. Well, I ran a 200-day moving average on the average human being height, and I built a car that has a seat in one position. What'd you do that for? You know, everybody... Yeah. Looks like the sellers are coming in here, so time to sell. Here's structure. Time to put your sell on. Calvin, you should be selling right here. Top becomes the bottom on the 4 hour. Right? Now you sell. Right? I'll put sell stops in there for you, Calvin. I know you don't have the script. See the stop coming in there? Now I'm selling limits with my magical hotkey. And that could last for whatever. There you go. We'll sell at the market. We're right at structure, right? We're selling at the market, British pound. Then he'll say, see, look, I'm right. Yeah, now, right? Okay, so we're going to buy some more dollar yen here. Ride the storm out. Okay. So waiting for U.S. to open. If we scalp and dump, then we can go take a nap. We'll be up for the day. We're selling the British pound. See, now he'll say, see, told you. I've dealt with these people in chat rooms, man. It's just funnier than hell. And then this could go down too. Don't forget this. This is stalled out sideways. And they'll say, see, I told you. So this is very iffy, and this is not a lot. Now, mechanically speaking, if you're going to have an ATR filter, you can see the trades here. Buy stop, sell stops, you're long. You're trapped. ATRs you're long, sell stops fill. You just made a pile of money. ATR is too big here to put that stop strategy unless you're willing to risk 40 pips now. Here are sell stops waiting to get filled, right? This, you have a buy stop and a sell stop. If your robot says look for a 10 pip, look for a 10 pip range and execute that ticket. Here, buy stops maybe not, because unless you want to put sell stops here, the same thing, because that's melting up. Right here is your stop out, and your buy stops aren't filled, but you're stopped out, you're short a little bit, and then buy stop, maybe continue, maybe still holding the original tickets. But I'm definitely buying this when it plunges, because that's the easy pickings trade. That's the trade I don't have to think about. But how can I impress people with my thinking ego if I can't make market calls, right? Because that's what a real trader does. That's what a guy who trades real good, but not real well, right? So who doesn't want to buy this if this bounces down here for the easy pickings, right? Because I don't have to be here for this trade. Now I'm just going to be a slob and just throw shit out here. A lot of stuff I did trade, I just threw out there. You're just going to throw a bunch of Georgia. Yeah, I think I can throw a bunch of orders in the market and make money. I do. I'll scalp this pound. Yeah, it's in a downtrend. But your timing has to be exquisite. Look at this perfect channel on closing prices only. This is the middle of a pitchfork. I'm always amazed how MetaTrader gets it right. Look how I just like slovenly throw that up there. Yeah, I know what he's doing. He's saying, we're in a downtrend. We're analyzing that. But he doesn't understand there's people willing to buy at a lower price and dump it for a wick that's going to blow up his account. Right? I see what Kelvin's thinking. I see what he's thinking. But if you don't get this right, if you get in the wrong time, like right here, at the middle of the pitchfork, can anybody see the problems in this one-way thinking? He sells here because we're coming up on this channel, right? Don't forget there's a channel that's been established off of whatever. Or the moving average, what the fuck. They hand his head to him. He doesn't think to sell here because he doesn't have enough money, and he didn't think about this little itty-bitty ledge up here at the 10-yard line being the most exquisite entry in the 4-hour chart. So he didn't ride this smash down. He maybe sold here and he made this. But he wasn't able to trade the backlash vacuum fill to here, and this is the structure of the bottom becoming a top. You can get on the short train, but you can also trade it both directions. One currency, both directions. The sellers are coming in now. I'm selling now into Kelvin's downtrend. But for him to post in Frankfurt, he sold here, and that's just, you're going to wrap it up for the day? Dude, if you ignore an 8-hour move, if that's intraday trading, then of course he's some position trader maybe. But why would he get in on the Frankfurt Open why wouldn't he just be like, I don't know. You know, I could be wrong on this, but yeah, he's adding to his short maybe, right? So maybe he'll be above water on that. If he waits long enough, he's underwater by 50 pips now. So if he waits, he could be right in a week. And maybe this is the guy. But I can't believe people be this mean. There was people I talked to so many people on Skype where we had a conference room. There was one guy that he was a fundamentalist, right? And holy shit, right? I mean, 300 pip stops, dude. Of course you're going to be right. I got it. Dude, it took 3 months. It took a month for you to fucking get right on that trade. I can't live like that. I'm watching this shit all day long to try to reduce my risk, to try to reduce my exposure, so I can make money from high probability stuff that goes on all in a fucking goddamn circle, right? So let me go back to I'm recording this thing in high def, so I gotta stop this recording, I guess. I don't know. Go in high def, but yeah, I think this is actually not a great trade. But I'm going to say, if I had to sell, it'd be here. I don't think this is a great trade. I'm not committing a lot of money to this trade. So this is just, even in the demo, right? Having the ability to execute is really, I'm telling you, if you can't sing or play guitar, the fact that you're doing it, you realize how many technically unable people are out there making $1 million because it's their energy that people are going to see. Their execution of it is unique. It's unique execution. It may not be technically the best singers in the world are singing backup tracks in the studio. They may be ugly. They may be fucking amazing. Look at this chick that, this British girl that went on like one of these shows, and then she's, you know, look at her and you say, oh my God, anti-glamour, right? She's killing it. She can sing opera. People thought it was a goof. They didn't think it was real. Oh, see, I'm losing. I'm trying to help you out here, buddy. That's structure trading. Oof. Uh-oh. In golf. Bye-bye. He's probably still shorting it like me. Look at that. Look at that. I just got blown out of that. So there you go. I took a signal from... I tried to structure trade it, buddy, but you can see the big picture is up, up, and away. Oof. See why directional trading sucks, dick? How do the mechanical traders make out? Oh, they're long by default here on a breakout. I think I see what you mean now. Looky. Yeah, buy stops. Who's making money now? Oh boy. Time to sell up into that, right? I don't know, man. This Kelvin guy, his signal service. Can I get my money back? And he had a Gartley on that, you said? Oof. Ouch. Good call, man. Good call. I'll sell. I can sell up here. Oh, now you're going to sell? Yeah, I'll sell up here. This looks good to me. Here, look at Martingale it. Time to Martingale up, boys. I like what he's saying about that sell. I think he's onto something. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Don't mock a market caller. I'm all about that sell, man. I'm selling 10Ks every drop to make 20 pips up here. I'm going to martingale into this puppy. I like where you're going with that, son. I know at first it didn't make sense, and then I watched my equity go, and I'm going, damn if that don't make sense. Buy low, sell high. I never thought of it. You've been doing that for fucking YouTube for how long? Posting my very first videos were shit like, I still got that one guy going, you can't martingale that. Oh, I might have a new channel called, if I can figure out how to log in and log out, I'm going to create a martingale channel. I'm going to assume the personality of, I'm going to create, like the Marlboro Man. And his horse is going to be branded Martingale. Like the Long Ranger. What was his Tonto? And what was the name of his horse? I think I'm going to sell right here. Look at that. It's almost like it's overbought. Sell, sell, sell. Sell stops. Confirmation on entry. Oof. Sell at the market for a scalp. Yeah, I like that sell. Look at that. Wow. Now, why would you sell there? Because the 1 hour ledge has just been nailed right there. Good scalp. I can't remember the name. High Hole Silver. I think the name of his horse was Silver. Oh yeah, I could get the silver guy. I could sell to the silver stackers. He made that call in silver. He's a god. Really, I blew up my account using his signal service. I thought he really knew where the market was going, so he's making so many good calls. I finally jumped in on one, and shebang-a-wang, there goes my account. Oopsie-daisy. Yikes-a-mighty. Can this thing overcome the wicks? We're underwater now, we're above water. Will I finally be proven right? I want to see proof of your trading, man. Man. I like this guy that says, bro. If you say bro, this is like saying, that beats everything I've ever seen. So if you're going to say bro, you have to preface it with dude, man, bro. if you do not do the proper setup for the confirmation of the most cliche, of course, dude's been adopted that chicks can be dudes, but that's only if they're cool chicks. Dude, man, bro. I had a buddy that his email was Dudeman, bro. He just made it into a big word. He's got a really unique sense of humor. He's a musician. But yeah, YouTube, I can just babble all day on here. Some guy tunes in just for my rant. But trading does examine you to your whole life in its form of you're trying to live in two worlds, right? That's why the sociopath is the best trader, because he can compartmentalize his life and he can be the evil market maker, and he can also be a good dad to his kids, right? Because he's not going to say, hey, you know what, you're in traffic. You need to cut in front of people. Nobody's going to tell their kids that. But this is how you have to trade. You have to take cuts. You've got to pick pockets for a few pips. You can see what the trend is. You can see what the masses have decided, because that's the big tide, right? So there's the ripples for the scalpers. There's the tide is kind of session trading, right? The tide comes in, the tide goes out. The tide is the volatility. Or the wave could be the volatility, depending if you're a wave trader. Now, if you're trading ripples, you're scalping. If you're wave trading, you're swing trading. And maybe you're tide trading. I'd say the current, right? But this is river metaphor, the current. The ocean, does the ocean have a current? I suppose so. Pretty much in a loop, right? Unless a storm comes in and you get this fractal break off. But what Bill Williams did, he took his Craig computer back in the day. That was the fastest thing, and he found out that the cotton market, the bar chart of the cotton market, the fractal means the leading edge of unexposed prices copies the fractal of cotton. And the shoreline fractal too, right? So you're going to navigate that shoreline. For a crab, it's just, a very small fractal. But that fractal, the way the shoreline looks when you zoom out, just say the big picture. So the big macro moves, right? The directional traders, this is why I mock and make fun of this bullshit from Empowered Trading. How to read a price chart. Why do you need to read a price chart? First question, why do you need to read a price chart on that big scale? You don't. Not to make money. So why do they say that? So if you're in the woods, do you care that you're in the woods in Canada or the woods does it matter which woods you're in the woods? Are you going to get out a map and go, you know where you're at in the universe? No, I don't. Could you tell me? Well, you see, you're in the Milky Way, and there's these other universes out. Okay, but right now I'm starving to death in the forest. How is this helping me? It's not. Why would somebody do that to somebody? Let me show you this Fibonacci and this Gartley. Let me show you this magic. So they decided not to use moving averages. They stepped into the mystical world of Gartley's. Pretty pictures. That's what they stepped into. Okay, here comes the top of the hour. We're looking for this to pop to 113.16. You might have said, why didn't you hold through the whole trade? And I'd say, well, because the market goes up, the market goes down. I'm trading around the position at this point. Plus, I can relax. I actually got back in. I'm back into a bunch of stuff here. So if we get a pop, cash out, do we dump, come back, reload? I'm skeptically selling the pound here. I'm scalping the pound right now. I have my close all profits on one symbol here. I'm going to run it on the pound. So just scalped out of the tippy top of that. I'm waiting for another pullback. So I've still got the yen going. But this is what somebody sent me for free. I couldn't buy this script, right? Take all profits on one symbol. So that's the thing. And what I do is I take all this stuff. This is like open source trading. Anybody heard of that? Maybe Calvin Hurst. Open source trading is where people just contribute and everybody wins. So you think I'm an asshole. Well, you know, I share all this stuff. Everybody shares with me. Post it. You want to set up a PayPal. You want to, hey, anybody wants to step in and sell my stuff? Knock yourself out. If you want to go make $1 million taking my videos and putting them, I give you all rights to my stuff. I have no copyright on this shit. I don't care. Hitler says, why are you doing that? Can you imagine me selling that with clients like Calvin? You could be nuts. I need that drama in my life. Like this psycho babe. You owe me. I helped you. Okay. You've never really, everything with you is, everything as this chick is about, you know, it's just manipulation, right? She has an agenda, let's say. I'm open to anything. You know, you want to talk about compression ratios? I don't care. Talk about cars. What's the best car? Is there a best car? So I scalped out of this. Looks like you're going to kill me on this. Thanks for the advice. Thanks for the trade, buddy. That was the buyer's pullback. So that's the pound on the 5 minute. It's 5 minutes before the top of the hour. Let's go to the 5. Look, still can't get the party started here. Resistance. The sellers are coming in. I'm going to hold through the top of the hour on this thing. Okay, so it's 1 minute to the top of the hour, and we're coming in on this stuff. I'm long the, I'm underwater. Now, that was where I could have dumped out right there at the top, see? Because we knew there was selling pressure up here, go figure at the top of that. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? That's the hard thing to imagine, is that sellers would come in up there. Okay, but it's true. It's true. So once again, we've got 20 seconds to the top of the hour. 15 seconds. We have a profound move here. Can we go after the wicks on the 4 hour and stop hitting those? Now, the problem with trading 4 hour breakouts is that you're going to get chopped to death, and you're really waiting for less entries on a mechanical breakout 4 hour strategy. Just trading goober breakouts. Okay, we're making money on the pound finally. So we sold into this, right? This is a 5 hour. We're up on this trade. Now I could pluck this off with the magic of the script that somebody sent me, which is profit SY, profit per symbol. So I'm a profit per symbol right now. I'm going to get out. I'm going to scalp that, and I'll be left with just a few tickets underwater from the early sells up into that. And now I could now I let the other sell banks play out, right? Because it's going up. We don't want to be trapped. We scalped the top of that. We knew when the jig was up, right? You got to know when your scalp's done and get out of the way, because there is a trend, right? There is a trend. There is a major tide. There's a current in force, and it's down on this. But unless you knew where to get in that train, you're going to get whipsawed. You're going to get backlashed to death. But if you're only trying to make 20 pips, you set that script in there, your high probability of making those 20 pips is almost guaranteed. Guaranteed. 10 pip box. The 10 pip grid, you're filling your orders into these boxes now. This is underwater on these tickets right now. We're still waiting for news possibly at 8:30. Let's check the news announcements. Looks like there's going to be the Bank of Canada policy, and then they're going to have the rate announcement, and Canada's got big, hairy news coming out. So maybe we should put up the Canadian pairs and trade those. Crude oil inventory, and Yellen's going to speak at 10 o'clock when they're going to announce, it's a real clusterfuck. They're forecast to raise the interest rate in Canada by by 1/4%. So let's bring up Canada, and let's bring this into the demo account, and I'll show you how to trade the Canadian dollar. Or try to trade anything. The Canadian dollar is going to have drama today, so we're going to tap into that with our wide scripts and see if we can't pick up a couple $1,000. News is coming out at 10 o'clock. We have plenty of time to place our pending orders in advance of the news. So let's go for that. And the beige book's coming out at 2 p.m. There's going to be a bond auction at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1:01 p.m. I love how they give that 1 minute. They're trying to trick the robots, right? Go to the view market watch, right? Bring up, show all. Try to track down the Canadian dollar. Some brokers, this broker has highlighted the majors, which is easy. Some people have it in a clusterfuck. Every broker has to be different, I think. Now we're going to do a chart window. Now I'm going to throw my template on, which has the 10 pip handles, I think. Okay, that's 10 pips, right? We can see the trade we missed already, right? The buy low, sell high theory. Remember this one? You see a vacuum, you buy it. You see a vacuum, you sell it. You'd be short right now on the dollar CAD. You scalped that, right? Let's hope you did. So let's take a look at the big picture on dollar CAD. Let's discover now here's the mechanical trading on dollar CAD. What were the mechanical trades with a 10 pip stop? Sell stop, sell stop. If this guy Calvin can't mechanically trade like this would be his trading style. Right? Buy stops, you only filled on the sell stops, you made money. Trailing buy stops, the stop and reverse, you made money. No fill on your sell stops coming up, right? Maybe here, right? ATR is too big to execute, you only bought a buy stop in. Right? There you go. Calvin, hopefully you're, I didn't help you on Skype, so maybe I can help you here. Of course, it seems like nothing helps this guy. He doesn't even say like I can't see what he's doing. And I encourage anybody that is trading to open their own YouTube channel, even if it's only private publishing. Why do people write down their trade plan? Well, I'm just broadcasting my trade plan in real time because this way I want to get better at trading. Can you get better at trading? You play guitar, can you get better at it? Of course. You don't find the Holy Grail and stop learning. All right? So I say, oh yeah, I can see I see what this guy's thinking. Can I step inside his head and trade better for him? I could show anybody that's trading the trend trading system, I could show you how to make more money trend trading. That would be to not get in on one big fucking ticket with one stop. And if you tell me that you don't mind getting stopped out and replacing that order, then it's ridiculous, right? Why don't you put a wide enough stop so you don't? You're so right. Why don't you put a wide enough stop so you don't have to replace the order? Why do you want to go through that? Now you're intraday trader. You got kicked out of the trade. You want to come back in. Sellers is making money here on limits. You missed that entry to sell. So I realized I missed it. What's the trade for me? The trade for me is going to be go to the 4-hour chart. Oh boy. Now you just got to know that this is another trade you missed. You started buying here and you just cleaned up on all these bounces. Now you go to the daily chart. Big news coming out, Canadian dollar. They're going to raise interest rates. Maybe it does go up. So let's put in some really wide orders here. 10K, 50 pips. We'll start selling here. We'll start selling here. And every wick on the dailies. 50 pip stops, 10K. Up here, I'm going to place my orders literally on where everybody has their stops. Right up here on the ledges, right? And the same thing on the downside, the weekly. Let's put orders down here in no man's land. 50 pip stops. I'll buy the retest of the weekly. I'll do it again here. And I'll just layer these in. Right? This is a good buy down here. What if we jump down 100 pips today? Would you buy down there? So fix the scale and look for trades on the outskirts of town. What do you think is going to happen if the market crashes for some? I'll risk 80 pips to make 40 pips down here. Because what happens, I'll make $25, risking $60 to make $25. Why? Because what if this goes down? They raise interest rates. People say, well, we expected them to. It was already baked into the chart. But what if it drops really low? People are going to come and buy it down here. Here's the daily CAD. Daily CAD. I'm placing all these orders. I don't trade the CAD, so I'm going to trade the... I want to check my premise every morning, make sure I'm right? Here, I'm up on this trade finally. Look at that. So I sold up here into the structure, but look how they overshot, see? You can't just put a sell limit at bottoms become tops, because you have to wait for them to grab this ticket from this top bank of money managers who have the stops in here. They stopped you out. Those are the bears money management stops, and I'm going to buy that stop off them, and I scalp this trade. And if I want to go flat and put this in my scalp book, I have my finger on the trigger to pull the profits up. Oh, missed it. If it caves in a little bit more, or I can just take off that one ticket, and I can scale out of the trade. See, another thing is the all or nothing thinking that occurs when as soon as you become a biased trend trader. It's all or nothing thinking. It's going up. That's all there is to it. It's one and done. That's what the guy said this morning. Look at his attitude to trading, right? Think about his approach, his attitude to trading. Oh no, that's all there is to it. That's just how, wrap it up. Black and white thinking. So I can see all the flaws that really, black and white thinking might be good if you're an attorney, but you've got to be, if you're a trader, you have to live in this world of, and making money from the lack of stuff working out. So I'm up on this trade. I'm almost up on this trade. I'm going to hide all these so I won't fill the buffer up too much. Now I have my take all profits keys on this if I want to get out of that early. Now I'm going to buy this currency, which is the one that's supposed to go down. But I'm already in, see? I'm already in. And I've got buy limits. I can hand place here a grid that's designed to be a trend thing, so I can put a tight stop to make more pips. Say put a 10 pip stop. Here, how about I'll buy a 3K, 12 to make 18. 12 to make 18, 12 to make 18. So it's trend, it's directional. I'm looking for a big move in that direction, but I'm buying on pullbacks pre-described for 8 hours here. Now I'm going to put the buy stop in. That's my trend trade. Buy at the market. They're stopping out these guys on the 15-minute pullbacks. I want to buy their stops right now. I can see them being stopped out. Plus, I'm going to hand place the risk 10 to make 20. Deeper. Don't duplicate anything. Don't overload the wagon. And I bought at the market. On every 15 minutes, it pulls back. So in 5 minutes, if it's down, I should buy at the market. No questions asked. So let's wait 4 minutes, come back. Okay. I'm going to get out of this one. I'm getting out of the pound here. I'm not good at selling. So I'm short right now. I'm up. I'm going to get out of the scalp, this little baby position. It all adds up. I'm going to let that go because I have so much exposure for sells on the top side. And it's time to think about buying. Somebody just asked me a question here on on YouTube about the basket thing. But I haven't written these orders to really, these are really high risk orders, right? 20 pip stop is quite a bit. Here's 10 pip stop. So this is a 4K, and I could place this literally on the top of this and say, okay, that's a baby order, but it's the accumulation of all these orders and really not giving a fuck about this little baby order, which is kind of a greedy ticket when you think about it. 10 pip stop to make 20. Are you kidding me? So if you want to do 4Ks, I'm risking $8 to make 4 on paper, but after slippage, it's worse, right? If I want to get stopped out of that and pick up my next order here, where I'm literally buying these, the stop hunt. I'm buying the stop hunt. I place these at stop hunt for 4Ks, and I can make money from the bounce here. Here, the same thing I just did was go to this rack, or maybe you have favorites, right? And you can say, okay, I'm willing to... If you build scalp, you can call them scalp. But here I'm literally buying at the market on pullbacks because the 5-minute chart said buy. right? It's going up. It's retracing, right? And even if it isn't, we don't know. But we have to go with our last known best guess. It's 15 minutes after the... There's no news coming out at 8:30. But it doesn't matter. Because this is retracing. It's in a major uptrend. This is the 4-hour. We can see where we have no sell tickets up here, but if we did sell that, we try to make like 10 pips with a 20 pip stop. It's going to look like this. We put it up on this ledge. This would be our scalp bank. Doesn't mean that it won't retest there. We can do that trade again and again. But in the big picture, as I scrunch this down, most people's charts look like this because they got all the indicators. The more indicators you put in, the more you're going to lose vertical dimension. This is very critical because you're making money from vertical price movement, up and down, right? You buy and sell. And so, to me, the idea that I could the first time I found the scale fix in here under properties, I just thought, well, there's the holy grail right there, man. If there was ever a holy grail, it's scaling in and fixing the scale to see how dense your order pack is. Okay, so the yen is in a real creeper gear swing trade. So I would sell up into that in little nodes and just walk away trades, right? Risk $10 to make $5 right in this bottom structure here. I'm placing it here. It starts there. So really most of my sells are going to be up in this pack at 114 even. So I don't have the round numbers aren't highlighted, but you can put a round number behind this whole thing. So you can pay attention to the big rounds, but the 10 pip grid to me, in my estimation, blows away any Fibonacci. Look at this thing turn around at the 10-yard line. Look at the respect for the 10-yard line. The market has respect for 10 pips even, believe it or not. And this is a highly traded currency pair. Waiting for the sell-off in here. I'm going to buy this, like I said, all day and twice on Tuesday. I'm going to buy all day down here today, coming down. Okay, so we're struggling to make, to go for full retrace here on the yen. Now, the Canadian dollar, I just set those orders in. We'll have to see when the news comes out. That's 2 hours away, an hour and a half. So the thing is when the market opens, depending if they don't fill my order bank, and I don't blow up the account on those tickets, which would be pretty hard to do because they predefine the risk. Even with slippage, it couldn't be anything. But I'm expecting not a lot of drama, actually, because we all know where the market's at right now. But when it does open and starts slamming around, at that point I can hand drop orders and trade outside of the market, waiting to get filled on those, and I can put in, depending on where the market goes. If it goes up, I would look to buy, and if it goes down, I look to sell. So if it goes down, I look to sell on limits above because I expect it to vibrate up and down. And if it goes down, I actually buy limits below. So I'm trading both buy limits, sell limits. So here we're getting that final engulf here, possibly on the yen. If it comes up to 113, sellers are coming in 113.70. Obviously, right? And we'll cash out of everything at that point. Then we come back with buy limits. We capture the bounce off of that move. So if we get to make about, say, $300 here, I don't know, probably not big enough to realize that whole profit. Besides, I got stuff cashing out. See the take profits are coming in? Predefined. These are the scalps. So that adds up. $3 times 10 is like $30, right? I'll make $30 on that. Just that one hotkey, the 6K. Breakout, go up trade, right? You only got a chance to get the 15-minute had no pullback. You had to jump on the 5-minute train there. See how that works? Now, we're looking for the sellers to come in as we come up into here. Our first sell limit will start right on the ledge of the 1 hour. We'll sell up into that, and we'll put them here. Or you can just put one ticket there. But see, I got a lot of space to the next sell ledge, which is this bar and this bar. And you could put them in very precise here. You're just going to sell a 2K right at that ledge. So the order density is going to be based on where the stops are sitting. So it should look like that. It should look like an inversion of somebody's protection and here comes the pound. It's the inversion of the other guy's money management. It's a revolving door. You're both winning. You're both right. Okay, now I want to sell. I want to get out of my winners as we come up into the bottom of the hour. There's no news coming up, but this is just how there's just a complete rollover here. I got my finger on the take profits key because I can see the sellers coming in. So I'm getting out of all my winners on everything now. I just pulled the master profit key. Now I want to reload on limits. If you were going to sell, this is the time to sell, right? At the highs. I'm still underwater on these very top ticks, but I got sell limits above me to trade coming back the other way. Don't duplicate the orders. Put them where the stops are for the bears, their money managements. See, now, I reduced my exposure. I'm down to a very small amount. So, see the sellers come in? Now I'm going to buy again here in a precise 2Ks. 2Ks stacked up underneath this wick, right? Because we know that's where the bull stops are. Right. I could have just, but I didn't. See why I got out there, and it got out quick enough. I banked some money, pips, whatever you want to call them, and we're still waiting for that final assault. So now I aggressively put buy limits below on dollar yen. I've got money in the account. I freed up margin, and now I can really trade the fuck out of this. I can really saddle up and really martingale. Get my high hole martingale. I can put a 12 pip stop down here to make 18 pips. Fantastic ricochet off the bottom trade. So the way you put this in, of course, having a favorites list maybe is the way to kind of not overtrade it, right? Because I got so many here. If I just get all excited about it and start throwing orders in there, right? Let's go back to the dollar CAD. Let me throw some more buy limits beneath here on the dollar CAD based on the daily chart. The daily chart I'm using as my big landscape. So here, risk 80 pips to make 40. This is a 40 pip range, 5Ks. I'm just going to put them way down. Now I'm just going to trade like a slob. Interesting to see what happens here at 10:30. Dollar CAD news. Very interesting. So I'm just at break even on these, on the worst fill of the day, really, which was when we started to go into this hole, the 4-hour hole. Now we've actually engulfed the 4-hour hole. So if you hung through this trade, like I did with my real money account, if you hung through that, you bought that new low and you're up on the trade. And they're trapping, right now they're trapping the breakout traders in the 4-hour. That's why we had to get the fuck out. We had to. We had no choice but to get out of that trade. Right? Had to. That's the exit door for the swing scalpers. And look how amazingly that 10-yard line is over here. Turned on a dime there on the 4-hour chart while it's broker dependent, of course, right? That's the trap trade. That's the easy scalp trade. High probability trade there. And a set it and forget it trade, really. I had those limits down there this morning. You saw it. What's the big deal? Now we're looking to buy this. I'll buy and sell this all day long on these stupid orders. My targets, I'm only trying to make 10 pips, man. 10 pips, 4K with a 10 pip winner, make $4 here, buying down in these little iceberg nodes, little nodes. It's beautiful. It's a nice, relaxing way to see the sellers came in there. So I'm still in this a little bit. I could even get out of that trade, no. Or I could let it stop me out. But if I have that fundamental trader's view with the 300 pips stop, that's not going to work. You can't scalp with a 300. Why bother, right? You missed your exit. Now maybe we're pulling back again. We'll see. Something just crazy happened. I didn't see any news. I just missed my exit here. So I just sold here. I just paused the video. I just sold there, remember? Now look at the smashback. So I don't know what's going on. There's no news at 8:30. But look at the wheels cut. Rate check out of Japan that wasn't mentioned. It could be a rate check. Look at the slam there. I bought this thing with all my limits were sitting down there. I was ready for this trade, believe it or not. Like, look at the tick chart. The wheels are coming off this puppy. So I bought that, and the wheels are coming off everything now. The British pound's going back up into the nosebleeds. But look at this dollar yen. They just trounced everybody. Oof. Now, had you sold up here, you just made so much money in 5 minutes. Look at that, 5-minute chart. Dollar yen. That's what I'm talking about. Anything can happen. Like, look at this stop smash. If you had scalp orders built into this, pure genius, right? You're already out of that trade. You already made your 10 pips. I'm going to put more orders in deeper now. These are orders that haven't filled yet. Now, I could cash out of stuff. If I make it to 29, if I can make $100 from this, maybe I hit the take profits key, come back in with more orders and do the same thing all over again. We're going to see. So we'll wait, come back to this drama. I have no idea. Maybe if you go to Forex Factory in the news, they're going to tell you what's going on right now. That's possible. If I do the, let's go to Forex Factory, see what the headlines are here. Somebody's probably talking about it. 3 minutes ago, Yellen, monetary policy report, apparently. They must have just issued a report. So, it doesn't matter to me. I just trade price here, honestly. Price trader. Guilty. High frequency price trader. That's me. Okay, so we slammed down again. I loaded up here again. We got a retest and beyond. Look at the 5-minute chart. Wow. I bought into those new lows. Look in the scalp here. We could engulf the day. Don't forget, anything can happen. We're scalping out of something here. Now I'm in a lot more margin. And I've got the British pound set to sell into the top here. So I just scalped into, I think I just sold a little bit into the top here. Looks like I only picked up a few tickets on that. Look at this climax. They just ripped the head off of Kelvin. They just left him in the corner deballed. If his stop was anywhere in there, he's down 100 pips on his sell. If he didn't have a stop, he's down 100 pips. We could still go lower, so I'm going to buy more of the yen if it drops lower here. I already scalped out of something. I just saw my margin drop. So I must have had something in there where I took 10 pips off the table. And I know I did because I was running, somebody asked me, if you're trying to make 10 pips, you can see when that thing drops into this hole that if you set to 8, 10 pips, you can kind of know when you see your margin go away that, yeah, you cashed out of that, right? Not a big winner, but this is longevity in the markets is to take chunks out of the market here, there. Eventually, this might engulf the day. We don't know. Or it could tank and we get stopped out of our tight stops and we make our scalps that are beneath us yet to come today. So you can have your cake and eat it too. All the things you've learned in the real world are not applicable here. Yeah, you can make money from just placing orders. Plus, you can eat your cake and have it too, or have your cake and eat it too. There's the cat waiting for drama there. Here's the euro dollar. Right? He shorted here. He's underwater on the euro dollar trade now. So everything he did today that he set it and forgot. Here's the stock market struggling to make a record high again. So we're buying this on bounces. And that's the rest of the trade today is sell the pound as it goes up and buy this. Sell the pound if it can make it up to here in the nosebleeds. And it's all limit orders because I don't want to have to babysit these trades. And they ripped Kelvin's head off here. Right? He sold the euro dollar. So total failure so far. That was a trade he put on 6 hours ago. So much for him. So next problem. Next genius, step up to the plate. Next guru, right? Okay, let's wait till stocks open, and that's going to be in a few minutes here. So I'm in dashboard mode here. The stock market just opened up for the morning 2 seconds ago. So as you can imagine, I'm long the euro yen on this big plunge. I bought into the big plunge, and I have buy limits sitting. This is the 4-hour British pound. This is the 15-minute dollar yen. This is the 4-hour euro dollar. So if the euro dollar backs up to 114, I'm buying for the scalp. This is the Canadian dollar. We wait for news. This is the stock market on the daily chart. So we sit and wait. If stocks can't take out the high of the day, I'm expecting the euro. Well, the euro looks like they just pulled that back, but I'm really just trading the yen here because it has the most drama. And I think it's going to be the best scalp of the day. So I already scalped the first bounce there, and then we loaded up on a plunge, and we really loaded up big. Almost 10 standard lots right now. Up $160. Let's see what happens. Come back to this drama. 5 minutes should determine quite a bit. Next 5 minutes. Here, the stock market's coming near all-time highs here. It looks like we haven't been able to take out the high of the history here on the stocks. So stocks are coming up. Supposedly good news for the market. Here's dollar CAD. We're waiting for another 20 minutes till big news comes out, which would probably affect severely this market. And this is my dollar CAD here. So we're still waiting. Big news in 3 minutes. And Canadian news. I put everybody on the 4-hour time frame. We just made a record high, a new record in the Dow Jones. I'd be selling that. You would sell new highs. I'd be adding to my shorts. If I was in selling the Dow Jones, this is a whole new high right here, just before the news. But you can see if you were going to trend trade that, this is your place to put the buy limits in the 4-hour fucking stock market. How can't you fucking figure this shit out? So, you just, you get lost, right? You get lost. So this is the CAD 4-hour. I put a ton of buy limits in. I'm long this thing back up into the floor on the 4-hour. Another brutal fake out to the downside. Drop 30 pip. We buy down here. We cash out up here. Right? Obviously. So let me close all winners coming into the news. I'm going to go flat on all winners. I'm waiting for the dollar, euro to the dollar to crash into my buy limit banks I'm placing right now. Before the news, I'll do the same thing over here on the infamous dollar CAD. So we're just going to buy low without any type of we don't give a fuck orders. News in 2 minutes. Looking for a smash down in the euro. A possible retest in this. We're only into a few K now. Mega pendings over here on the 8-hour. I have 8-hour drops. 8-hour hotkeys I just loaded. Same thing here. I'm looking for a plunge on these 3 pairs. Here's the stock market. Here's the dollar CAD. Big news on CAD. Let's leave some space now. We'll go this 10 pip grid. We're gonna come into the broader view. News in 30 seconds. The spreads will get wide. This is the Dow Jones 4-hour. This is US 30. I keep thinking it's 30 minutes. I keep hitting the 4-hour going, MetaTrader finally has a big bug. I'm buying the retest of the pound. I'm buying the retest of the dollar yen and the retest of the euro dollar. Into the news. News is coming out, and we're at 28,800. We're at $86 a margin. We're just going to let her go. Huge news. If this drops, I will just run stuff in front of it. I have sell limits above on the dollar to the CAD. Big smash down. Who can see that coming on dollar CAD? We just got filled. We're at 28. So this is real time. It's happening. Now I have the option to hit all profits. Okay, we just scalped out of the big monster banks. I placed dollar CADs on the right of the screen. Huge news. Right? Live trading it. Now, if I hadn't the scalps built in there, then I'd have to come and take profits just on that one instrument game and play that fucking game. Meltdown coming in the euro. 4-hour charts. We're buying that plunge. Buying that plunge. We get one more plunge on dollar CAD. We'll be filling more limits. Here we go. We've got available margin. We're a little bit long the dollar yen right now. We're 28.83 if you're playing at home. We just took on another 50K. We're in 50K. And it's coming from the trades that I placed before. Now I'm going to put in 8-hour monster drops on dollar CAD. And I don't know what the news is. I don't have to know. I know I want to buy low. I'm going to just keep hitting this button. And I can go over to my limit grids. Right now I start coming in here. Oh yeah, I'm buying that. If we ever come down here, right, who's not buying that? Come on. Don't be ridiculous. Right? It's going to be insane. People are going to lose their mind down here. And I'll be buying the whole time they're losing their mind. I'll be buying into that. So the people that are short, there's going to be a limit to their profits. And when they reverse, I'm going to go with them. Right? Huge retracement in the huge bounce retracement here. Big swing trade. Still playing out in dollar yen if you're still in that trade. From earlier this morning, putting the buy limit banks in before the market opened. Here's another possible pullback crush. So I'm going to buy more of this tonight. As we flirt with the come down into the wicks, I'll buy it. I'll buy it on the way to the wicks and beyond the wicks. So you have to get you got to get a nice spread. It's like having a shotgun. You need a nice spread. Okay, big crush down in euro here. We're filling on limits in euro right now. Just for the initial scalp. Now, if I get down to my take all profits per symbol, I can pretty much scalp out of stuff that's just reached its moment in the sun, and we can get back in. We got other orders pending for another smash back to hell. So I'm just going to run hotkeys here. Big pullback in the dollar to the yen right now, and we could get filled on super deep limits, and the same thing in the pound. So I'm allowing for different stuff to happen. I'm not going to paint myself. I'm not going to just trade one thing, right? But this presupposes that you know which keys are connected to what. So the Dow Jones is failing to continue its head hits. We've gotten that burst, and the party's over. Now dollar CAD looks melting downish. So I'm buying that as it bounces. I'm also buying retests on the dollar to the yen. I still think it's a great scalp coming into the next few minutes here. So I have the 2-hour buy limits. And you just have to ride the storm out, so to speak. You got your orders spread. You don't have just one tree in the yard. You've got a bunch of baby trees that are cutting the wind for you, you know. You're cutting into the market's cutting into your orders, and you need to have this orchestrated. If you're going to trade this many currencies on one account, you need to be the conductor of the show. And you need to arrange it like a music arranger. You have this instrument coming for a little bit. This guy comes. This guy makes a scalp. This guy's down a swing trade. And if you could see a global view of that on the 4-hour chart, it should be very obvious that if it's rocketing down, hopefully you've got buy limits below to catch a bounce. If it's rocketing up, that'd be square one for limits, right? If you're looking at the market and it hasn't done anything yet, like I said, you should have been short the dollar CAD according to support and resistance before this news even fucking came out. I said in this video, your sells need to be here. Now, did you know that you were going to make 100 pips off that trade? Obviously, you got to start buying down here, right? So that's why the buy limits are down there. Now I can buy again. For 15 minutes, I can buy again, right? I'm like, oh, yeah. Now I'm running a key that runs 8 hours. Are you seriously going to tell me that you wouldn't want to just press this button like a monkey in a cage and make money out of nowhere? Of course not. Not if you're thinking in terms of, well, what's the commitment to traders report? Well, who cares? Now they're going to buy my retest. Look at this. I think they're taking this thing to hell. So I'm putting super deepers. I'm just going to walk away. I don't need to babysit. I've seen this show a million times. Plus, I've got just super dupers set in there right now. So here's my buy limits for the next 8 hours. And every 10 pips it drops, I will load it in. In fact, that's the thing. On the hard-written scripts, every hour it drops, you just hit this button. You're way out in front of the market. If it drops another 50 pips, bam, you hit it again. Maybe you hit it twice. But I wouldn't put any buy stops, and I wouldn't buy at the market. I'd let the market come to you. And these monster limit strategies. So if I delete everything across the board here, I'm going to buy in pullbacks here, 2 hours, pullbacks 2 hours, pullbacks 8 hours super deep. Then here's the 8 hours super deep, right? You don't have to look back. This is level 5.5 trading. You're looking at all the market depth, right? Depth of market means how far did the market move? How far could it move? Do you want to be a buyer down there? Do you want to act like a big boy, right? That's the whole demeaning thing about this. Oh, the big boys are doing, but what are you doing? You're a big boy. You can dress up like one. You know, you put on a sport jacket and all of a sudden your account goes up. Yeah, because I'm being like a real banker. You know how they dress. Another 8-hour thing. Now, see how I'm kind of copying because I haven't waited? I haven't waited for this to drop. This is a hot key. This is key number C3. Buy limits. You pick the time. Now, I know it seems inconceivable that martingale works, but what if I have another key that's going to launch a grid that lasts for 6 hours? Now, this whole scheme was thought up, and I really did think people were going to go, oh, man, I did it. I hooked up all, but it's so much work, isn't it now? You realize that even hitting a button to launch a trade strategy that buys for the next 6 hours, it buys us 10K every 10 pips with a master stop. That's an incredible swing risk trade. If you did the math, why wouldn't you press the button? Well, I have to have that set up on another laptop, and you're overwhelming me, and what are you doing with all these tickets? And so one slice of it is so powerful. But if you have a day job, you just go to your fucking... I did it on a tablet, so it's proven to work. You have a key, you have a hotkey you hit. You double-click it on your tablet, get a nice cushioned pencil. Dedicate the tablet to trading, though, so you won't be able to do any email on it. You just have big fucking hotkeys. Right? Get a 10-inch tablet with 1-inch keys and just hammer this bitch, right? So I'm hammering this thing. I finally got my dexterity down to tablet quality where I can take my fat fingers and multi-click, just tap out a fucking trade, but you're just putting fucking monster grids, right? Because we've all seen this show before. Market makes a big move, but it seems to run out of gas somewhere. What's that? Something changed, right? So this ability to go with the changes, right? REO Speedwagon, right? Got to keep up with the changes. So once again, I'm going to run the 8-hour script, which is going to be slightly different entries now. That's why I have the arrows there. So when I keep hammering this thing, I can see this is my journal of limits. I can see, wow, man, you should have waited. You should have waited, right? Okay, buy limits again. They're just going to hammer this. They're going to keep hammering this dollar cat. I'm going to gobble it up. I'm gobbling it up. I don't look left. I don't have to. When the market's open, I don't look left. You should have. You can look left. You can have a chart. Sure, you can have a monthly chart sitting here running in the background. But really, if this thing crushes down 50 pips, would you buy it right now? 50 pips, bam. Now the news has been out for 10 minutes, and I don't even know what the news is. I don't care. The stock market is going into record territory. Record fucking territory. Now this is where I'm not going to buy it. I don't trade the stock market. How long can they push this? Do you have sell limits above? You better. What, are you going to wait for the divergence? No, you're selling stocks right now. If you're a bear, this to you is a selling opportunity. It should be, right? Look at them crush this CAD. We're making new lows here. We're going in, as soon as we start picking up these tickets. Now, I'm kind of where I was before. I'm holding my own at 28, but I'm picking up a lot of dollar CAD here. I'm taking my margin, I'm using it for that. So my equity's sitting flat. In a perfect world, you're watching these tickets come in and out of the account, and you've done it so well. You've orchestrated and arranged it so well that nobody even notices until they dissect the music in music class how much shit, this comes in and out, and they don't realize when they're watching a movie it's about the music soundtrack, right? It's not really about... You can't just film a movie without a soundtrack. It's pointless. Okay, we're taking on more margin here. We're gobbling up the limits right now on the dollar... to the CAD. But our equity's kind of hanging in there because we're winning on other stuff right now. So it's like a hedge fund almost. But you definitely have to have some type of organization here to lay the orders in so that you can get into just the Goldilocks amount of margin. And whatever that is for you, of course, would depend on the size of the account and percentage of leverage the broker is giving you. Okay, we're getting mega filled here on dollar CAD, and the dollar CAD can move pretty fucking hard. We just picked up another 50K. Down $40 from holding on to the originals on limit grids. And now I'm going to put another buy limit in for 8 hours on, you guessed it, the dollar CAD. Woof. Look at how it took that news on the chin. Took it on the chin there. No, not a lot of fills here on the, just one fill here on dollar to the euro. So, but we have the advantage here of when we trade like a slob here with all these limits, the market comes into our trap, and once you know it, we come back and we're like, holy shit, that's not a bad, I could scalp here, pad the account, come back with limits and get in this jump rope mode with the market where you can dance with the market, right? So you're dancing with the devil because the devil is, are you in too big as you have too much margin exposure? Okay, so now we're waiting for a retrace on dollar CAD now. News has been out for 15 minutes. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. Sheer straight down. No fucking, it hasn't come up for air in, on the 5-minute chart, we have not come up for air in 10 minutes straight down. Now, more buy limits. Now you might say, well, now you're going to get out high hole. You're going to get out the martingale. Yes, I am right here. Now, if I had a button that pressed deeper that lasted 12 hours, you can best bet I'd be buying 100 pips deep in 12 hours, no questions asked, because I'm going to do it anyways when the market gets down there. Who's not? Right? It's a great price. Everybody wants it. You have to see value. That's what that Buffett guy does. He sees value. So would I buy this for the next 2 hours if it came down here? Yeah. Master stop on this stuff. Progressive entries. Now, this is 2 tickets overlaid. This is really aggressive because I'm asking this to only come down a little bit, and this thing can just crush now. So can the pound. So if I come back to this thing, I see how my trades worked out. I've got the arrows. I'm trading the thing real time. I've taken a risk strategy. And it's about trading risk. So what you do is you create a trade plan that has risk of X. Okay, this is a 22. This is a 9mm. You're going to go out and kill something. You know the appropriate weapon to use for the appropriate situation, hopefully, right? If you're a marksman, if you're a sniper, you mean you don't have a hand grenade? If you're gun jams? You got to think about the art of war, right? The art of war is having many backup plans. I can always imagine this Calvin Klein out there in his underwear with one big fat bazooka going, dude, I'll blow your head off. Okay, great. But, water is the most powerful, right? Water dripping, got a hole in your stone. It's going to take time, but water wins, right? And same thing in the market. When the market spills in, you hold the market back like a dam and it bursts out of the congestion zone. Yeah, it's fucked. If you're on the wrong side of that trade, you're fucked. Is there a way to board that trade mechanically? Yeah, you put the stops in like a goober. It's down, put buy stop. It's up, put sell stop. Well, this trading shit's fucking boring. Where's my scanner? I get it. This is why people are attracted to the magical amusement park of indicators. I get it. But we still want to be able to make money if we're going to babysit. Now, I'm waiting for retracements on here. I'm not going to add to this thing. I could add to this, and I should buy at the end of 5. But I bought so heavy on limits that I don't even know if I hit the buy stop button. So this is the beautiful thing here. When you get filled on limits like this, you can sit back and relax because there's no fucking shitty trades where you're going to get filled as it sweeps back up and possibly traps you. and a dead cat bounce and then rips your head off to the downside more. So you've already done your risk parameters up front here. And you know what's possible, and you have the ability to have a hotkey set to take. I haven't set up the hotkey yet, but I'm going to have a hotkey set to just take profits on that one symbol. So you take this guy off the table. This one you're going to load up on, right? This is pullback to fair value. So I'm going to keep limits I'm coming in here. Then I can put, I'm afraid I'm going to miss out trades or market orders. I'm afraid I'm going to miss out. So I'm going to put a buy stop and I'll buy one at the market for good luck. So the last thing I do is go for the market order. So whatever you feel impulsive about, market order. No, go for the limit first, then the stop, and the market last, or the market on the clock, right? I've got a justification every 15 minutes to buy if the currency's going down. It just went down for 15 minutes. What is the trade plan for the dollar CAD? The news just came out. We slammed down, you buy. Now, of course, the stop is going to have to be maybe 10, 20, 100 pips. But you're going to hit that key more than once, maybe. Because you just pulled the trigger on 0.00001% of risk of your account. You're fishing. That's the first bite. Yeah, you buy a 1K here, right? Just for good luck. Then you put limit orders super fucking deep. Like you don't care. This is an 8-hour script. Now, it's going to be difficult if I don't have the hotkey set to take out profits per instrument winning. So it's like a card game, right? But you're playing 3 hands at once, and you have all these instruments trading, and everybody's coming up to their trump at some point, right? Everybody's getting trumping out. I'm not trumping out. It's taking a trick, they call it, but that sounds like another hooker thing. You take tricks in bridge, apparently. Oh, my. You have to have a trick sitting on your lap. That's how you win bridge, right? She just is so hot that everybody's staring at her. Meanwhile, you're just fucking pickpocketing people in the room, right? That's a good strategy. If you're right, if marketing Forex doesn't work out for you, that's a backup plan. Put that in your arsenal of life hacks. Okay, buy stops on the pound. I like it. A couple buy stops here. This could bounce back. I think it's could tank, right? I'm hoping it tanks. I got enough buy limits down there to trade the tank. So I picked up an immense amount of margin. Now I got to sit back and say, you know what? Don't press any more buttons. You already have exposure to way more margin fills. If everything goes totally wrong, terribly wrong. So buy limits here for 8 hours. I'm ready to buy that today for the rest of the day. If we can take it back below 114. Now, mind you, we just bounced off 114 on this puppy. Look at that scalp pullback. Look at the burst up. This is a complete swing trade. Even if you sold the top of that, if you load it into sell limits into this whole thing, you had to take a lot of heat. But you are above water on every one of those fucking trades if you put a master stop above. Right? How can't people see that? Now here, like I said, they're taking this thing to the floor today. But I'm going to take my free margin that I have. I'm going to donate to this project of buy low, sell high. They're just going to crush this, but I refuse to sell. Like I said, I don't sell. But I'll sell it if it comes into my trap, they load up. And as it comes retracing up, I would cash out on just, if I had to take out profits on just that symbol, I'd cash out, and here comes the other. It's like you follow the money, right? That's the old fucking these guys supposedly original follow the money. I'm following the money on my account, right? I'm watching the new highs on the Dow here. We're up in the fucking Ethernet. We're up in the ether. We're in the nosebleed section on the stock market right now. Classic melt up. Is it a blow off top? It's a great scalp entry. It's a great scalp, right? The scalpers are up right now. Anybody that sold new highs in the stock market is up on every ticket. They're right at break even right now on their first entry, right? So we can see what they're thinking. The daily scalpers, here was the buy scalp. Yesterday, you get in here, you ride it from edge to edge. You're wick to wick. As the ultimate swing trader or range trader is wick to wick. The trend trader has to wait for this consolidation shit to get in with his, obviously a quality swing trader is going to run tight stops in a nest, maybe a spectrum of stops from 10 to 30. He loads up, his targets are 80 pips. He's waiting for the market to slow down and stand still. Or maybe he is the trend trader that's buying spike pullbacks in, like every spike he's buying Every monster sell-off, he's just gobbling up shit. So yeah, you got your moving average. You're running buy limits still because it's not done pulling back. Dollar CAD, huge disappointment. I don't know what they did, but look, it doesn't matter. It's filling a hole. All it's doing is filling a need. And the need is going to get even needier as we come down. So we're coming into the wick here down. So this is the grand call by the trend traders at brought to you, this buy signal brought to you by the trend traders at Empowered Trading. Why do you mock people? Go back and watch Akil Stokes here. He's talking about this thing going up to here, okay? I'm just saying, when people make these outlandish, well, of course, this would be the next target. Did he have a trade plan to go the other way? Fuck no. He doesn't even know how to trade that. He can't even tell people what to do about this price movement. And he's probably telling them now, look for a place to sell. I can already tell you what Akil Stokes' trade plan is. It looks like this. Okay, people, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get in here. All right, we identified it's in a downtrend, and we're going to put a sell limit here. And our target's going to be down here. We're expecting this to happen and just go on forever like a wonderful... Really? Why didn't you fucking just buy this plunge and cash out into that and then sell? It's going down. Why aren't you? Because you're too fucking focused on your bat wings and your dick wings, right? You're looking down at your wingtip shoes. Instead, you should be looking at your client in the face and going, what the fuck does this guy need from me to shut him the fuck up? Yeah, be like businessman, man. Just... Holy fucking shit, man. Look at this. Look at this puppy. Go through the floor. Unbelievable. Obliteration. And look at them just... Okay, the scalpers are underwater. They got them by the scruff of the neck. The bulls got the bears by the scruff of the neck. Okay, I'm going to buy this British pound. At the market, they twisted my arm. And here comes that... there comes the gift that keeps on giving. The euro dollar. Buying on limits. Looks like a crush down. They're going to take it below 114 and blow everybody's brains out. I've seen that trade before where you think, hey, this is a good pullback, and it just keeps crushing back. So after losing on that trade, I thought, well, you know what? I got to run buy stops. This is coming down. I got to really gauge this thing and just get that perfect amount of margin and just go in and out and just breathe with this fucking beast. And then I thought, yeah, that's it. That's the ticket. And then, of course, the discipline to not just say, oh, I wrote a script. I can't wait to hit this button. Well, I actually can't. So that is a problem. I love the idea of buying this whole pullback in a predetermined risk amount. It's very relaxing. Same thing here. 8 hours, I'm going to buy a retest. On the way to retest, I'm buying. So I'm buying on the way to the store. I'm picking stuff up along the way. My favorite boutiques. I know I'm going to make it to the store that has all the stuff, right? The staples that you need to live, the metaphysical stuff. But, right, once that's taken care of, the hierarchy of survival, first you have to worry about, can you make it to the trading platform? Next checklist is, do you have enough money in your account to trade all your grandiose ideas? So every trade ticket, every script is its own little trade plan. And then you realize that if you haven't written that trade plan that you have an idea for, you have to go with so it's keeping you kind of disciplined, because at the end of the day, at the end of the year, if you kept to a certain bunch of scripts, now you can come back and fine tune it. Like, hey, I want to tighten up the stops in the script. Hey, I want to go for, I think that, it's a high probability trade. I want to risk a little bit more pip-wise, but not size-wise, right? So that's a big difference. Be saying, I'm going to try a 300 pip stop and be right on that trade and go, look, we've made the best market calls this year. Yeah, but didn't you want to be in a zillion-dollar position on that fucking amazing call that you made? But if your call is half hour out, in a half an hour, I think you should buy 20 pips deep. This is what you're saying when you write a script that says buy 20 pips deep for a half an hour. You pull that ticket. You don't have to pull it. You pre-wrote the timestamp.